Hello! So today I'm going to be showing you one of many items that you can make for Christmas, some sewing items. These candles are super in right now. I see them in all of the shops for a Christmas decoration. They're super cute and I've already used them, as you can see, but I will be showing you how to make a little holder for these candles so you can gift them to people with a really cute little fabric holder. I'm using 100% cotton fabric. I'm using a Christmas decorative fabric because I'm going to be giving it for Christmas. And so let's get started. First, I'm going to measure how big my candles are. I'm obviously going to add some extras to have some extra fabric on top, and as I've already used it, I'm going to just calculate a bit more. I think in total I'm going to have it 30 centimeters long. With seam allowance, I'm going to make it around 32 centimeters, what I will cut out. Then I will measure here. I think per candle I would want around 8 centimeters for it to be loose, or 7 centimeters for it to be a bit tighter. So I'll do 7, and since I'm going to have 2 candles, I'm going to double it times 2, and then I'm going to add some extra on the sides to make it then a foldable pouch. So these are the pieces that I am using. This is going to be the outer fabric. This I chose to be for the inside fabric because it's another type of cotton, and I just love that it's like not flat, so it's going to actually protect the candles a bit more. And this piece is going to be the piece that will cover the candles on the inside. So it's going to be shorter because it will not go all the way to the end. It'll just stop here, and then it's like the pouch for my candles to go inside. Here are the dimensions. And here is the ribbon I'm going to use for it to be able to be wrapped around and tied up. Here I've hemmed it, and now I'm going to stitch all the way down through the middle. I've done the hem stitch, and now here I sewed all the way through the middle, but I didn't finish all the way at the end because I have to still have space to roll it in and stitch on top. But at least now I have my stitch here, and I'm going to measure how much space I will want for my candles, and then I will know at what point I can then stitch down again. Now I've estimated how much pouch I want here, how much space for the candle, as you can see. And this is the line I'm going to stitch down on, and then I'm going to replicate the exact same on this side here as well. I'm going to duplicate it and stitch down. So I have done my stitching. I've stitched all the way down here and here. At the bottom now, since there is some volume, I've just basically created a little pleat that will basically help to keep the volume in there. And I've also now trimmed down my sides because of the excess fabric. What you can also do if you want some extra bit on the side here is you can only you can only stitch this up here like this. So align it here and then align it over here so you have some extra fabric here, and I can show you then that option. Don't forget to add your ribbon in here. This is the part where you add it in. As I've stitched up the sides, I've also added the ribbon in here. We have to make sure that the ribbon is poking inside onto the good side, and that you leave only the little seam allowance out on the outside, if that makes sense. So as I fold it back inside out, it now looks like this. So the ribbon is poking out here, which is exactly what I need, and the rest looks like this. I have not ironed it yet. I'm going to iron it, and then I will show you the next steps. So at this stage right now, I have flipped it inside out. I have ironed it flat. My ribbon is here. It's coming out of that seam here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just stitch it here so it holds in place. For my bottom hem, I have just folded everything inside, and I'm going to top stitch up here to hold it in place. I'm going to top stitch all around, and I'm even going to top stitch up here and back down again. And then we have finished. our candle holder. So here we have our final product. I've just quickly stitched up the ends of the ribbon so it's not fraying. I've top stitched everywhere all around. And now we can put our candles in and close it up. Hi there! Right, so for our next gift, creative item that we can make ourselves, I chose this denim jacket. What I will do is, with these fun little letters, these are stick-ons, so they're embroidered in the front, and they've got a glue in the back, so with an iron you can just like heat press them on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select my name, my nickname, which is Gem. I'm gonna pick Gem, and I am going to heat press them on the denim jacket somewhere and customize it. Now this one's obviously for me. If I did it for someone I would use their name, but this one's gonna be for me, so I'm gonna write Gem, and then maybe I will even afterwards embroider around it or something. But I think it's super cute to give a really cute customized item to someone. And these are super simple to stick on. Anyone can do it. I bought these off Amazon, and you can buy many other different kinds on Amazon, different styles of appliques. So these are basically sew-on appliques or heat press appliques. Make sure that you can heat press them, that they have a glue. Some of them don't have glue if they're complete just sew-ons. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to show you the result. Super quick, super easy. I played around a bit with the placement of these appliques on the denim jacket, and I decided that I want to put it on the back. Because maybe later on at some point I'm going to do some embroidery around it, or kind of paint, or do some kind of decoration with Gem on it. So I'm going to put it on the back. Next I'm going to take my iron and make sure I can use the steam, and I'm just going to place it on top like this. And then I'm going to lift. It's very important that it stays very cool afterwards, like it isn't on a hot surface, but it's more like it cools down. So fold this one over, then we're gonna hem it. So I have folded it inside, and now I'm going to be top stitching along here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well, which means both individually. You do that one first, you fold it and hem it, fold it and hem it. So now I have finished this, and I'm going to stitch down here and here. Because I'm doing the French seam, I'm doing wrong side on wrong side. But what I'm going to do after that is that I'm going to flip it inside out and sew again with that little seam allowance on the inside so that it's hidden. I will show you. So now I've finished, and I sewed up until here because I have to leave this part open for the drawstring to go through here. So I only sewed up until the stitch line here. Now I'm going to fold it inside out. And here I'm going to poke it out all the way. You can use a needle for that. From here, from this point down, not from all the way to the top, but just from this point all the way down on both sides. So it's done. I have sewn all the way down now, and now I'm going to flip it back inside out. After pulling it inside out, on the edges here there were these little parts sticking out just because we did a French seam. So what I did is I just snipped them open. So now they're free, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke them inside, so then it will look like this. You can just poke these inside, and normally after that we're going to put our thread through, our yarn, and then we're done. To make one cup holder, you need one strip and two of these. You can use two strips if you want to have them crossed, but I'm gonna use just one. I'm gonna use one strip for my cup holder. So I had a big strip, and what I did is I just marked with my pen, just made a line all the way around on both sides, and also down the front here for the two seams, so you can see my mark lines, and then I cut it out. The reason being is because you can also have different sizes of cups that you want to be using, as this one is personally mine. Some of yours might be wider, or like thicker, or longer, or something, so you can choose. This is the one I chose, and now we're going to get started. First I'm going to start with the strips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them in half like that and press them flat. Then I'm going to sew 0.5 all the way down. The strip that I had cut out that was 4 centimeters wide, now I have this. Basically, I stitched 0.5 centimeters, 0.5 on fold. I stitched with 0.5 on fold, then I pulled it inside out and I ironed it flat, and this is the strip that I got. So I'm really happy with this. You can also top stitch both sides if you like. I am not going to do that right now, but you can top stitch it as well in the same color as your fabric. Next step is I'm going to put these two together, right side on right side, like this. I'm also going to see where I'm going to put this. I think I'll put it right here and here, or I'm going to put it on the back side here. And on the front side. So what I decided to do is, instead of sewing this part up a bit, I decided I'm just going to press it with the iron and fold both sides inside like that, and then top stitch. Just as I'm anyways going to be top stitching up here as well. So you can also try it on your mug and see how it fits. Mine fits amazing. I'm really happy with it. So now I'm going to finish it off with just folding it inside. I'm going to top stitch here and top stitch here, and then we're done. For the bookmark, all you're gonna need is a big strip of your fabric, and if you want to make the bookmark a bit thicker, you can add something inside. I have here some calico. You can also add some leather, or you can generally make the bookmark out of leather or any other firmer fabric, but you obviously don't want it to be thick. So this is my cotton. It's the same fabric as for all the other Christmas items we're making, and I will be putting this calico inside. This calico is already sewn together, so it's already a bit firmer, a bit thicker, just because I don't want it too flimsy, too flat and flimsy. So the measurements are basically the length of your book plus around 5 centimeters extra for seam allowance, and also for a bit to poke out on the top. And the width is basically the width of your preferred bookmark plus another 1 to 2 centimeters on the side. These are my measurements for my bookmark. The steps are very simple. I recommend ironing your big strip in half. You place your inside fabric or piece of leather or even piece of cardboard inside here. Then you can just mark all the way around with a pen, so you have the exact measurement. Then afterwards you're going to fold this in half, but the other way, right sides together, because you're obviously going to want to have the correct side on the outside. You're going to sew along here and all the way down to the end, and you're going to stop here. We're going to then flip it inside out and sew this inside with your piece inside. I have now finished sewing all the way the top from here all the way down my stitch. I also forgot to mention, if you wanted to make it a bit creative, like in the top or something, you can always add inside like a little tassel or a little chain of something or anything you want. You add it here in the top, and then you sew on top of it, and it would be hanging on the inside here, so that when you flip it inside out, it'll be hanging out up top. My next step now is I'm first going to cut this corner, because it's going to be otherwise too bulky, and then I'm going to flip this inside out and put this inside. Okay, so now I have finally put in my calico, which is inside here, to make my bookmark a bit more firmer, and I'm very happy with it. It's not as flimsy, it's not too thick, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I also do recommend, if you want to put some of a thicker fabric inside, a more stiff fabric, I definitely recommend it. My next step now is I'm going to sew all the way around, and also I'm going to iron this inside and sew over here as well, so it closed. And like I said, if you ever wanted to add in some creative object like tassels or a little keychain or a little ribbon, you can always add it in here and then sew over on top. I have finished sewing my bookmark. As you can see, all the edges and the corners are sewn up. I'm super happy with it. I also have, in case you ever wanted to decorate, you can also totally add some like lettering on top, some appliques. You can add like a little fun like little animal or a little other design, a flower, or someone's initials of the person you're going to gift it to, plus some tassels on top, or some really fun decorative things. So yeah, this is my creative bookmark. I hope you like it, and I hope you can make this easily yourself as well.